All right, let's dive in. We're about to step into a world built on the ruins of a story. But look, this isn't just some gothic horror tale. Think of it as a philosophical lecture on the timeless, brutal war between order and chaos. So, picture this. Our story doesn't kick off with a bang, but with this. Profound silence. But as we're told, this silence isn't empty. No, it's a stage, absolutely soaked with the ink of every failed story, every collapsed kingdom that came before. This is the dark, rich soil where our story begins to grow. And that really sets up the central question of this whole thing, doesn't it? What happens when the play we call reality just falls apart? When all the rules and roles we've created just crumble? And, maybe the most chilling part, what happens when the props wake up? So here we are, in a fallen kingdom, standing in the rubble of a throne made of calcified bone. I mean, what a perfect image for rigid, dead authority, right? And it's here, in all this ruin, that a puppet begins to stir. But this is no ordinary puppet, it's a vessel, soaking up the dark energy of the collapse, feasting on forbidden cosmic secrets until its wooden jaw creaks open, revealing a smile that has way too many teeth for a mortal face. And that brings us to Act 1, the coronation of chaos. See, this isn't just a rebellion, oh no. This is a formal, almost ceremonial rise to power. Here's where we see the two big forces going head-to-head. On one side, you've got the monarch, wearing what's called a parasitic crown, representing this brittle, fearful kind of order. And on the other side, the jester. He's the embodiment of a primal chaos, powered by the very secrets the monarch desperately tried to keep buried. This is the ultimate showdown. Absolute control versus total wild release. You know, the monarch's whole plan was doomed from the start. He actually tried to bind the three chaotic siblings, the wit, the hunger, and the small, using these rhymes that tasted of cold iron and ash. But the thing is, as the text makes so clear, you can't use the rules of order to control the very force that exists to break them. It just doesn't work. Okay, on to Act 2, a surreal playhouse. The kingdom isn't really a kingdom anymore. It's become a stage for this bizarre cosmic drama to unfold. This is where the king's unearned majesty just completely dissolves into a humiliating spectacle. His super-rigid, controlled reality goes through what the text just perfectly describes as a slow, colorful death. His performance of power is exposed for what it is, just a performance, a flimsy mask trying to hide a deep, hollow fear. So who's the audience for this grim little play? The people. They're called the long-tired, and they're just passive spectators. They watch in a complete stupor as the level and safe world they thought they knew is taken apart piece by piece and replaced by the raw, untamed power of the absurd. Now we get to Act 3, the alchemical descent. And this is a key point. The jester isn't just a destroyer. He's an alchemist, transforming the poison of the old world into something new and terrifying. The text gives us this incredible concept, liquefaction of the soul. So what in the world does that mean? Well, think of it as a kind of mystical recycling. The poison from the monarch's failed leadership doesn't just vanish. It gets transformed into the very fuel that powers this new, chaotic ruler. Death, in a way, is feeding new life. In this is a huge turning point. The jester does something deeply symbolic. He throws away the golden mask of Apollonian order, the pretty facade of reason, logic, and beauty, so he can confront the ugliest man hiding underneath it all. It's a conscious choice to embrace the messy, grotesque, primal truth that order always tries to hide. Act 4, the logic of the void. Here we're shifting gears a bit, moving from the drama of the story to the philosophy behind it all, the cold, nihilistic worldview of the sapphire jester. Now that he's thrown away the mask of order, the jester whispers his philosophy to the wind, the logic of zero. And this is pure cosmic nihilism. It's the idea that in the final universal accounting, the ledger of the great evening, all of our struggles, our achievements, our failures, they all just sum to nothing. Every single variable eventually equals zero. In a world like that, what has any value? Promises of safety? Of a better future? They're all lies. The jester mocks the so-called miracle workers and offers the only currency he believes is real, the honesty of the terminal shudder. The only real truth is the end. It's an incredibly bleak philosophy, but in its own dark way, it's brutally honest. And if you follow that logic to its final conclusion, it completely reframes our entire existence. All the pain and suffering that we experience as profound, world-ending tragedy is, from a high enough perspective, just a cosmic comedy. Our deepest heartbreaks are just the punchline to a joke that we're not even in on. And now, for the final act, my crimson gift. The voice shifts entirely. We are no longer observing. We are hearing directly from the awakening sapphire jester himself. From my perspective, this is all that's left of the monarch. He isn't some noble, defeated enemy. He just rots. He rots in the silence of his failed ambitions, a pathetic figure crushed by the weight of a crown he was never, ever meant to carry.
And here, I give you my crimson gift, a piece of radical wisdom. Remember this: attempting to dominate the irrational is a contract written in disappearing ink. The lesson is simple. Any system you build to completely control the unpredictable, chaotic nature of things is built on a promise that is guaranteed to fade away.
And in my triumph, in this glorious ruin, I achieve amor fati, a love of one's fate. I don't just accept this destruction, I embrace it, I love it. Because this is the necessary, dark, fertile ground from which the true spirit of becoming can finally rise. For anything new to be born, the old world must be utterly annihilated.
And so the story turns, breaking the fourth wall to speak directly to you. The prologue of your world has ended. Everything you know, your history, your precious order, that was just the introduction. And now I pose the final, chilling question. Are you ready for my play to begin? A thought to leave you wondering if your own stage is about to be cleared.